All right. Hello. Hello. Excellent. How many of you guys are from out of state? Wow. Who thinks they're from the furthest away from Denver, miles wise? What do you have? What? What did he say? España. And what city? San Sebastian? San Sebastian? You pronounce it that way. Yeah, I pronounce it almost the same. And I was there. I've been dreaming about going there. Went there 2 years ago. It's like the nicest city in the whole world. Why are you here? Oh, good. It's a long trip. Yeah, fantastic. So I need to get your address and phone number a little bit later because I'd like to visit this summer. All right, you ready for your second half? We got a fantastic lineup, and we're going to get right into it. Our first, look at them run. They just can't wait. Oh, you're here. Hi. Glad you made it. Is Dar-Lon Chang talking about affordable community retrofits. Welcome to the stage. All right.
All right. Well, as any parent of teenagers will tell you, they're harder to impress as they get older. My daughter was impressed as a 10-year-old by 5 goats in our new neighborhood in Colorado that served as our sustainable landscape maintenance crew. Now that my daughter's 15, her standards for being impressed are much higher. And I think at this point, I'd have to be arrested multiple times as Jane Fonda got arrested for protesting oil and gas and speaking up for climate action. In 2019, I left behind a 16-year oil and gas career as an ExxonMobil research engineer to move to the zero-emission, net-zero GeoS neighborhood and a clean start in clean energy without the safety net of a clean energy job lined up. Thanks. I made the switch to clean living, but I learned from taking care of goats and building a community garden with my family and neighbors that community is the key to leaving behind our collective oil and gas soaked past for a clean energy future. Speaking of the future, I'm a fan of science fiction, and I got my Ph.D. in mechanical engineering from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where author Arthur C. Clarke foretold in his novel 2001 that the HAL 9000 AI supercomputer would be born. Fortunately, that didn't happen in reality, as HAL tried to kill all humans to study aliens, but being an Illinois alum, it weighed on my conscience that I might have unleashed driller robots willing to kill all life to produce oil and gas. After finishing my PhD, I started work at ExxonMobil and eventually became the lead research engineer for a drilling advisory system that I told drillers in the field would only assist them, but not replace them. They have a right to be skeptical. I was celebrated for increasing drilling rates by 25%, but almost a decade later, about a third of Colorado's oil and gas workforce lost their jobs during the pandemic and didn't get them back, largely due to automation. Given my oil and gas soaked past, I feel compelled to atone without being able to send a driller robot back in time to strongly urge my younger self to reconsider my life choices. I am able to help oil and gas workers switch to clean energy careers. They're digging holes that will lead to the end of all we hold dear, but we all need them to switch to filling those holes back up, so to speak, by weatherizing homes and buildings to use half the energy, by switching gas appliances to electric, and building geothermal systems. These jobs require a human touch that can't be replaced by driller robots, but they need a lot of community. I say that as a former oil and gas worker who couldn't have made it becoming president of a clean energy company without a community. Like a phoenix, GeoSolar technologies arose from the ashes of the original GeoS vision used to build the first 28 zero-emission homes. But a new developer bought the remaining land and installed gas pipelines for the remaining 250 homes. My neighbors and I protested the pipelines and got national media coverage. I joined 350 Colorado to advocate for state policy to switch homes and jobs to clean energy. I went to City Hall and spoke many times about the travesty of gas pipelines at Geos. But the most important thing was I started working for GeoSolar Technologies to bring the zero emission vision of Geos to enough neighborhoods to make a difference in bringing our climate back from the brink. Clean energy communities are really like a neighborhood coming together to take care of goats. Neighborhoods can make climate action affordable by weatherizing together, replacing old gas appliances together, and sharing energy from solar PV and geothermal boreholes together. Clean energy retrofits on a community scale are what's necessary to bring the cost down. And we saw this with the Geos neighborhood, where we were able to bring geothermal drilling costs down from $30,000 per home to less than $10,000. Clean energy workers would have steady work for entire communities rather than the current state of unsteady work for individual homes. Clean energy companies would have the certainty to hire new workers at a pace to meet our climate goals. To those who still deny the urgency of switching to clean energy, remember that I helped unleash the driller robots coming after oil and gas jobs, but I'm now working to make the switch to zero emission communities with human connection and no need for oil and gas, if only to avoid having to get arrested multiple times to impress my teenager. If you'd also like to explore alternatives to being behind bars, consider talking with your neighbors about applying for community retrofit programs. I'm here to help you follow through on impressing future generations, and we are all in this together to bring clean energy to our communities. Thanks for your interest, and I hope to talk with you soon.
Well, that was very inspiring. Way to get us kicked off there. I'm very impressed with the switch you made. So when did you kind of realize that you needed to get out of oil and gas? How old were you?
Yeah, probably about 2012, 2013 when I was unleashing the driller robot.
Okay, and then how many decades did it take you before that to switch over?
Well, I had a decade where I gave ExxonMobil the benefit of the doubt, but they didn't deserve it.
Ah, got it. And then the protesters, that huge group of protesters you had there, did all 7 of you get on national news?
We did. We got on CNN.
Wow. Remember, it only takes high quality signs and 7 people to get on national news. Wow. Right? I mean, you guys probably spent like all afternoon doing those signs. I'm just having a little fun. Sorry. All right. I love the part of getting the cost down in the geothermal. So one of the things that we haven't really talked about is, we talk about, well, we haven't even gotten there yet, but air source heat pumps in Colorado are expensive, but cheaper than geothermal. Geothermal is very popular in the Southeast, right? Southeast of the United States. And but they still cost. What is it? Total install cost of geothermal might be $35,000.
Yeah, the heat pump's not that much more. It's just
The drilling, yeah. So if you can get that cost down, then you're talking about paybacks that are probably, instead of 20 years, it's more like 6 or 7. Does that sound about right?